From the City of Angels, you are listening to the James Salazar Media Podcast. On today's episode, we're going to talk about what you can't and can't control. So let me strike the music, and I'll meet you on the other side.
Engage.
Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Say hello to my little friend.
No, I am your father.
I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody.
And welcome to the James Salazar Media Podcast, where you get your dose of pop culture, politics, and futurism. I am the formerly mentioned James Salazar, a.k.a. The Media. Hope everyone is doing okay. Just got out of my birthday. October 13th. Uneventful. It's my 49th birthday. So I guess I'm probably going to do something big on my 50th. We'll see what happens. But, you know, there's a lot of things I want to get done, locked down, buttoned down by the time I'm 50, just as a goal. Who knows how long humans will live with advancements in technology and health. I could, with advancements, live to 100. It's possible. Added on that, you know, I stopped doing the stupid shit, and most of my stupid shit is that I love drinking soda. That will pay dividends for the devil later on in my life, I'm pretty sure, unless I do a reverse turn. It'll be the hardest thing for me to cut out. So, yeah, I'm saying that. and I really, what I just said right now, I really haven't committed to cutting it out. But I should cut it out, and if I want to be here for another 50 years, and I say all that to say this, that I could be halfway through my life. The first 50 years, you know, they were eventful. I mean, I did a lot of shit. I traveled the world. I've had about 35 jobs. I sang on stages, spoke on stages. Starting from the age of 12. So, yeah, now, I ministered for people I was a minister and a life coach. And I just want to kick off my 50th, probably being a little bit thinner, a little bit more wealthier, a little bit more focused on what the next 50 years is going to look like. Those who don't plan to fail. So I'll say all that. I did say that. So we're coming up to Halloween. My favorite time of year. I've actually written a poem for this time of year. It's probably one of the best poem I've ever written so far. And I hope you like it. I'm going to read it to you. I think I should enter it in one day to a poem contest. So here we go. Football time. Leaves the fall. Trick or treat. Children will call. Halloween time all the way to Thanksgiving. The table set with all the trimmings. Stories of fright. The season aglow. The story of our Savior will be told. House decor with spook, food, and then merry. The New Year arrival will not tarry. This magical season about to begin. Memories to last a lifetime of love, family, and friends. Scene. All right, folks, there's that. Hope you enjoy that. I might make it a plaque and sell it. And I'll let you know if that happens. So we're going to talk about what you can't and can't control. I pretty much talked about everything I want to talk about. I was going to end it, but one of the biggest things people find it hard to control is their anger. And we've talked about controlling, that you can control how you perceive your traumas in life that ended up making you depressed, triggered, or angry all the time. And of course, they are a lot easier said than done. But for anger, I might have a life hack for you. I've been working on this, and definitely give me feedback on this. Because what I don't want to do is give you an excuse not to work on your anger. The best and most intelligent outcome is for you not to fly into a rage. People who fly into a rage always make bad landings. But I see sometimes people who are angry and I find that their pathways to dealing with things, the widest pathways in their mind, and if we can get into thought patterns and how they're like streams of water and sand that dig deeper and deeper, and that your mind goes down those pathways first before you can stop and control what you're thinking, and then it comes out in an action that you didn't want to do in the long run. And you've probably hurt, offended people that didn't deserve it because you can't control your anger. But here's my life hack. And this is for people who have attempted to go to anger management, work on the things that are triggering them to anger. And this is not a full answer, but it is a start in the right direction. And direction is the word I want to use. Directing your anger. Sometimes, and this is a fact, there's people in history have done great things who are angry, but they directed their anger towards something good. Doing something good. Using that anger to motivate them to do things that other people aren't willing to do. They're not as passionate because at the end of the day, one of the components of anger is passion. Is feeling that you have a right and you are passionate about being angry at people around you because you think they deserve it, which is not true. But people who do evil, people who do injustice, well, they deserve your anger. And if you can direct your anger towards something positive, like global warming for some people, plastic in the sea, maybe injustice, people going to jail for the wrong reasons, or people not going to jail for the right reasons. Slavery, there's still slavery in this world today. We are so involved in the slavery of our past that we don't care about the slavery still active in other countries today. We just don't really care. We are occupying our time and our anger on our past offenses like the Civil War and why it happened and that it happened and it shouldn't have happened, instead of focusing our anger on people who are in chains now, who are forced into labor now, who are forced into sex now. They are raped and slaves. That's happening today. There's plenty of things right now that can fill your time, that you can direct your anger to make this world better. You can. Helping people. One of my favorite stories, my brother's favorite lawyer, he's called Mr. Brown. And every time my brother, I wasn't there, painted the pictures like, he was the one who was the victim. Mr. Brown would like, I can't believe this, Gilbert. I can't believe they did this to you. And he would genuinely get mad at the injustice that my brother was facing. Now, in all honesty, a lot of those circumstances he put himself in. But still, that was his favorite lawyer. And because he really got passionate and angry and believed, my brother, that he was being a victim of justice instead of justice being on his side. And my brother, and now he's retired, but my brother loved that guy. Because Mr. Brown, if he was going to take on defendants, he made a conscious choice to believe them and be passionate about their defense. You can be a lawyer and fight and be the things that get you angry can be the things are in the world that are unjust, evil. Pick a cause and direct your anger towards it. And maybe, my friends, maybe, number one, and here's the benefits of this hack, is that while you're being an asshole, you're doing something good for society. Number one. And number two, it should, and as a hack, begin to give you perspective as you see the horrors and injustice and evil of the world. You will get perspective that the anger that you show towards your family and friends and colleagues aren't justified. Or maybe the steam behind that anger is diminished because you've been using it to fight evil. Whether it be social justice, regular justice, no matter what it is, the environment, direct your anger to fight it. And remember, I'm not talking about doing evil to fight evil. Let's be clear about that. There's no justification to hurt other people with your anger, even though they might be doing something wrong. You can be angry about it, but you can't do something violent about it. We are not the hands of justice. That's what our laws are for. To be clear. And there's definitely circumstances that will require you not to obey the law because of religious and political beliefs. I have no problem with that. If your anger is making you protest against an injustice or an unjust law or an unjust event that our government may be condoning, it is your right and your responsibility to fight against that. And some people I'll just say it, are not angry enough at some of the injustices that happen in the world. So I want you to use your anger and be a part of something bigger than yourself and direct that anger towards that thing, whatever it might be. Anger motivates people into action. It does, as well as passion, as well as love. But anger's always in the mix when it comes with injustice, crime. Like these people in Afghanistan who got left behind. People who helped the American military do their job in Afghanistan, who were helping their own country, who risked their lives and their families under the idea that the United States wouldn't fully abandon them. They were wrong. The United States fully abandoned them under this president, which is unacceptable. Should be impeachment for sure, just on leaving the Americans there. There were soldiers, Marines, Army, Navy, Air Force who were mad and upset that our country betrayed these people. And they were going to do something about it. They were not only ashamed, they were not only doing something for their friend, but they were angry that this happened. And that anger motivated them to risk their lives one more time to get those people out of there, to get planes over there, and get some of those people who helped us in securing Afghanistan out of harm from the Taliban and Al-Qaeda, who were going to go through those towns and kill those people and their families. It was the ultimate betrayal. And this president will go down in history as one of the most destructive and stupid presidents. You know, I'll say this right now, and this is coming out of anger, and maybe, hopefully this angry statement can give you perspective. Joe Biden should have never ran for president. But his ego got him there. With the help of Donald Trump's mouth. And I feel sorry for him that the Democrats are propping him up doing these things, and he's just going to looking stupider and stupider, inept. And I thought, man, let this guy go. But now I don't feel sorry for him. His ego to want to run for president, even though he lost a couple of times before, nobody picked him, and he couldn't win in no other way than in this environment, and the environment that would allow him to not talk, to not campaign, and let the other guy put his foot in his mouth, who some people probably wanted to vote for, but they were just exhausted of how many times he made his own job hard, and let alone those other people who definitely weren't giving him a chance. But now we're in this destructive administration ran by Joe Biden. What he did in Afghanistan was absolutely terrible. This has nothing to do whether we should leave or not. We probably should leave. But the fact of the matter is that he left Americans there. He left the people I just talked about there. He left equipment there. Afghanistan is one of the most well-armed nations in that area because of the stuff we left. That is unacceptable. That is negligent. He should be impeached for that. They tried to impeach Ronald Reagan for giving weapons to Iran for hostages. This dude left a whole military there. Let alone inflation. My freaking Big Mac's going to be $5. That's an impeachable offense already. Mass unemployment. everything Donald Trump did good, Joe Biden is screwing up. He's just ending industries without like handing off to another industry. It's incredible. Yeah, those jobs will be there. No, it's not being there. Now that businesses are closing down because the economy's slowing down, he wants to raise taxes on the people who create jobs. Well, I'm sorry, my friends. Guess what? Job creators are humans too. And they can get upset and say, nah, I don't want to create any jobs in this environment. Because rich people, one of the reasons why they're rich, they have post-tax money they've saved for situations like that where they don't have to compete in this economy if this government is looking to social engineer society based upon the profits of job creators. Nobody says they shouldn't pay no taxes, but let me tell you something. The top 10% pay for the 80% of the bill. So, rich people are paying the bill. Just how much do we want them to pay? Do we want them to pay for stupid programs? Do we want them to pay for bad decisions by administrations? And the administrations don't have to change a thing. They'll just use the money of rich people. Well, my friends, here lies the crux. Rich people don't have to make any more profit. They have plenty of avenues for profit, and they don't have to create a job. They can invest as opposed to creating jobs. And they know if they wait long enough, 4 years, there will be a tide that will turn, a pendulum swing. But this president, the pendulum swing from Donald Trump to him is not a pendulum, but it's a wrecking ball. And it's breaking our environment, and it's breaking our society, it's separating us. And he does get the blame. Like Donald Trump will get the blame if people aren't getting vaccinated. He has an inability to connect with the people who do not want to be vaccinated. I'm vaccinated. There's a lot of people in the Hispanic community and the black community and the white community who are not being vaccinated. And as long as you keep on threatening the American people whose major value is freedom, that you're gonna make people do something, mandate that people do something, you're gonna run into opposition every single time. There is a social contract, but you're not asking for a social contract where we all do the good of society. You're saying you should do what's good for society, and we're gonna make you. It doesn't matter what you think about it. Well, my friend, you're in the wrong country for that. So therefore, half the country, or what of it, 35% of the country is not being vaccinated because you keep on threatening that you're going to force people to do it, or they can't buy or get services unless they do. My friends, that's discrimination. That's anti-freedom. In life, every tax can be avoided. If you want to go out and be homeless on the streets, you can do that. No one's going to force you to work. No one's going to force you to pay taxes. No one's going to do that because you have no money. You can avoid a tax. You're not forced to work, and you're not forced to pay taxes. Whether you think is right or wrong that they should mandate vaccines and you can't buy services or goods unless you do, whether you like it or not, it's one thing that it is fascist. It is the clear definition of fascist. And if you're for it, you're for fascism. I believe everybody should be vaccinated. But I don't believe you should force people to put anything in their body. So there's that. I just directed my anger towards something good, or at least what I think is good, commenting about how inept our new president is and what he did wrong in Afghanistan and what he's doing wrong in our country. So for you, my friend, for you, there's something that is unjust, evil in a world that you can direct your anger to. You can focus your anger and do something great for society. Be a part of something bigger than yourself. And I'm sorry if you had to hear a diatribe over the president because of it, and you might love the president. Well, direct your anger towards fighting people who think like I do, I guess. But at the end of the day, you have to go into this with a perspective that when you see true evil and it gets you angry, you begin to have perspective about being angry at your kids, being angry at your wife, being angry at your family and your friends, and the reasons why will become more increasingly ridiculous to you why you are getting angry at it. And there's much bigger fish to fry, more bigger ideas to be angry about than shitting on your family and friends and colleagues. So that's not my life hack. Use it as you wish. But I know some people who I've talked to many times that know their anger is bad, that knows that's going to take a lifetime for them to control, or they can't see the forest from the trees when they start to get enraged. Maybe the key to dealing with their anger is not to control it, but to direct it. And my last disclaimer on this subject, anybody dealing with anger that they can't control should never be in a position of professionally fighting evil, like a cop or in the military. We need people who can control their anger. We need people who can see their partner get shot by a suspect and the suspect give up, and that you, out of anger, don't retaliate against them physically. If you are dealing with anger issues, you should never hold a position where you touch people physically or have to. No. You're not in a position, you shouldn't have the position to fight evil with your anger if you have anger. This is obvious because we have a big problem with that. Because I'll tell you right now, every cop that reacts bad feels justified in the moment. Their anger justifying them to abuse a suspect. Unless they're just straight out evil. But I give cops the benefit of the doubt that the ones that react bad and do bad things, that beat up assailants in their custody, are people who have anger issues and should never be police, should never be in the military. That they think they're right. And that's the biggest problem. It's not that we have evil people hiding in positions. No, it's that we have people believe they're justified in hurting other people unjustly. This is the problem. That these people think wrong. They process the situation wrong, where they feel justified by fighting evil, by doing evil. If you're someone who like that, who has anger, you should never be a cop. You should never be in the military. Just my opinion, but I think it's a regular opinion. So let me wrap it all up. If you're dealing with anger, and it's been a lifelong struggle, direct your anger to something bigger than yourself. Fight global warming, fight plastic in the sea, fight injustice, fight crime in a way where you don't have to touch people. Speak up against the things that get you angry. Direct your anger as a way of dealing with it. And do it in under the idea that it should bring perspective on the things that are in life that truly deserve your anger. Not your friends and your families and your colleagues. And that if you're dealing with anger, you don't be a part of anything where you have to touch people. Your inability to control your anger should keep you out of positions. Any position that requires you to deal one-on-one with the public and have to touch them. I'm sorry, but that disqualifies you. But I'm trying to help give you a life hack for your everyday life. If you do not have the temperament to be a cop, then don't do it. To be a military person, don't do it. We no longer want those people in those positions. But I'm telling you, direct your anger to bigger things. Be a part of something bigger than yourself. Because just in general, when you're a part of something bigger than yourself, your troubles and the things that you're hung up on that get you angry will begin to diminish and give you perspective. I promise you. But at the end of the day, try to control your anger. What this life hack does not give you a license to be angry at the world and injustice and then be angry at everybody else and justify your anger at the world and injustice to give you a reason to be angry at everybody who doesn't deserve it. That just makes you an asshole. And you haven't changed nothing. And what you're doing, you're taking one step forward fighting evil and taking 2 steps back by creating it. So at the end of the day, be an asshole to evil. Be an asshole to injustice. Give your friends and family a break already. Do something. Just do something. Do work, son. Do work. So, if you're confused by what I said, go back and listen to it again. I'm not justifying your anger. I'm saying directing your anger. And I'm not giving you a license to be angry at everybody. I'm giving you a license to be angry at evil and injustice and people destroying the environment and oil leaks and shit like that. But at the end of the day, you got to get perspective. Intelligent people don't fly into a rage. At the end of the day, I know people who could be president of the United States if they chose, if it wasn't for their anger and their ego justifying it. They could have accomplished way more than what they have, and they accomplished a lot. So, that's it. No more. I'm done. We're not talking about this no more. So, my friends, if the storm of life comes against you and you find yourself on your knees, stand tall and take a look at that storm and say what my sensei Jack Burton always says. Give me your best shot. Strike the music.